Hello, everybody. This week's readings focus on the beginning of the American acting movement and the development of the group theater. One of the biggest ideas that connected both readings for me was the importance of having a vision. Brestoff explained how the Moscow Art Theater inspired American artists, while Fertel described how the founders of the group theater wanted to build something much bigger than a single successful production. They wanted like a permanent theater where artists could continually work together and focus on meaningful storytelling. Even though Fertel pointed out that this goal was probably impossible to sustain, I admire that they were willing to pursue it anyway. As a theater teacher and director, I think it's important to have a vision for a program, even if you know you'll never reach that perfection. Another idea that really stood out to me was the emphasis on ensemble. One quote from Brestoff's description of the Moscow, or when the Moscow Art Theater toured America, really stood out to me. He wrote on page 78, it says, "Every actor, no matter how small the role, was brilliant. The depth of feeling and the detail of the actor's work startled and amazed the critics and public alike." That immediately connected with me because one of my core values is really trying to teach my students that there are no small parts, only small actors. I want every student to understand that every role contributes to the storytelling, to the show. Vertel reinforced that same idea by describing how the group theater wasn't focused on creating stars. Instead, they built a company where people learned from one another and grew together. Next one, something else that I really appreciated was learning that the group theater's greatest legacy wasn't necessarily the productions they created, but more the people they developed. So many members of them went on to becoming influential teachers and directors who continued sharing those ideas for future generations. As a teacher, that really resonates with me because I hope my own impact extends beyond the show my students are in. If my students leave the program with confidence, discipline, and a love for theater, I feel like I've done my job. Both readings remind me that theater is rarely easy. I think we all know that. The group theater dealt with many ups and downs, but they kept moving forward because they believed in what they were creating. I think every theater director can relate to that. No production is perfect, but it's those challenges that often become the moments that strengthen both the production and the people involved. Overall, these readings gave me a greater appreciation for how Stanislavski's ideas influenced the American theater and how the group theater helped carry those ideas forward. I'll finish with a quote from Brestoff that spoke to my heart and the goals I carry for myself. On page 92, it's a big long one, but I'll just read the last sentence or two. Let's see. "It is the highest tribute of achievement of the group theater that their work can be spoken of in the same breath as the Moscow Art Theater. They did what they set out to do. Many theaters have started with high ideals. The group theater met them." I hope that in years from now, my students will remember our theater program, not just because of the shows we produce, but the community we built together, working together, putting shows on together. So with that, thanks for listening.